And I had one teacher yesterday going, well, does it do this? Does it do this? Does it do this? And one of them said, does it do the captioning? I said, yeah, it does captioning. All you got to do is turn it on. Oh, that's all you have to do? And I said, yeah. Anyway, ain't that neat? I guess y'all can see what I see. I see, I swear the other day when I was working with another class, there was an actual pause recording, and now I can't find it. That's really odd. I'm talking to myself. And I'm trying to look. I think they're changing some things on their menu. All right, I'll shut up. Y'all should be able to see my screen here, and I'll go ahead and we'll pull up combination. We'll do combination first. And I'm going to pull up the South Carolina lottery. South Carolina education lottery. Okay, and we're going to click on Powerball. And I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to click on, let me do a snip. Well, I don't know why I'm snipping it, but anyway, I'm going to highlight this, and I want you to write it down. Let's see, where do you pick your numbers? Here we go. So here we go. Right here, I want you to highlight this right here. That's how you play. I want you to copy that down, please. I mean, you don't have to copy down every single word, just the gist. Select 5 different numbers from 1 to 69. And then one number from 1 to 26. That's basically all you got to write down. Okay, let me make it bigger for you. There you go. And I'll highlight what's important right there. And you don't have to, actually, that's all you need right there. Select 5 numbers, 1 to 69, and one number from 1 to 26. Now, this is lottery question, and there's no order in a lottery question, so therefore this is a combination. Lotteries are combinations. Y'all want me to leave the captioning on or off? It doesn't matter really, does it? I think it does pretty good. If it can do my voice and my Southern accent, I don't know why my phone can't do it. My phone, I say, I'm going to be there in a minute, and it says all kinds of stuff I ain't never heard of. So why can't my phone do? I mean, this is great. Yeah, Hubert, it is. I think so.
Are the captions on right now?
Yeah, you can't see them?
No, I can't.
Oh, you have to turn them on yourself. Go up to the 3 dots. Go up to the 3 dots. And I think it's middle ways down. It should say turn on captioning. Does it?
I'm looking.
It should be right above recording. About 3/4 of the way down. Turn on live captions. I don't know what y'all see, so I don't know if you see that or not.
I mean, I can't find it, but.
Well, okay, well, maybe it's on the recording. I don't know. I don't know why it would be just showing up on mine. I thought it'd show up on yours too. Does anybody see the captioning?
We can turn them on.
Okay. Where do you turn them on off? Where I said it was 3/4 of the way down?
For me, I clicked 3 dots and then it's the first one.
The first one.
Yeah.
I see when I click 3 dots, it's almost at the end down there where it says recording down at the bottom. I guess it's different for each setup. Okay, well, that's great. I'm glad. Thank you for letting me know that. All right, so I'm going to clear this, and we're going to do this problem. And one thing you need to write down about the lottery questions. What do you need to write about the lottery questions? You need to write in red. Lottery / combination. Make sure you understand you can't win if what? You can't win if you don't play. Now, what does that mean? Well, some of these questions, and it varies between the Math 103 that I teach and the Math 120. The Math 103, some of their questions do not explain enough in the question. If you see a question that says, what is the probability of winning a lottery? Then they are telling you that you're buying at least one ticket. Does everybody understand that? Okay, because you can't play, you can't win the lottery if you don't play. And some of these questions, now some of them are good questions and will tell you you're buying one ticket. And that's a good question because some of them don't tell you that. Some of them, they're just assuming that if it says winning, that you're buying at least one ticket. And therefore, you put 1 over whatever the math you're going to do. NCR. Okay? And that 1, I'm going to highlight that 1. And this is very important. That 1 that I just put right there, and then I put a fraction bar, and then whatever math I do, comes from this, which comes from this. So if you're reading a question about probability of winning a lottery, and they don't say how many tickets you bought, then it's assumed that you buy what? One ticket. If it doesn't say that you bought a ticket, it's assumed that you bought one ticket. I bought new black markers. I had to. I was out of black markers. Okay, so before we do any lottery questions, you need to make sure you understand this. Some questions will tell you how many tickets. Some questions will tell you that you bought one ticket. Some questions will say the probability of winning and assuming you buying one ticket. And then one type question won't say, they'll say, what is the probability that the numbers match? Or something like that. Then that means they just want the denominator, because you can't get that you bought a ticket from what are the probability of the numbers matching. So you got to be careful when you read some of these questions, especially if you go into another class. Like if you go into the 103, you got to be very careful to read the questions on the lottery and see if they either tell you how many tickets you bought, or they ask for the probability of winning the lottery, or the probability of the numbers matching. Hopefully everybody understands what I'm getting at here. Now, with that being said, the lottery is always going to be the number of tickets that you bought over the combination of the first 5 numbers. I'm not going to do anything, times the combination of the 1 number. And that's the way that you're always going to do the lottery. Now, if you buy 10 tickets, then you'd put a 10 up here. Okay, so the number of tickets purchased over the combination times the combination. I had one teacher yesterday. You ready for this? One teacher asked me yesterday while I was showing them how to do the document cam. They asked me if they make a document cam that rotates the paper automatically, or that if you turn the paper this way, does the camera turn with the paper? Does anybody have anything they want to say about that type of question? I don't see how you could have, I don't remember seeing any document cam with a motorized camera on it that turns. I may be wrong, but I just don't see that being something that you would buy. What do y'all think?
I agree with you.
I thought it was kind of an outlandish question, but that's just me. All right, so here we go. 1 over 69 combination 5 times, I think it was 26 combination 1. Let me make sure that I did that. 69 with 5 balls and 26 with 1 ball. And now you just do your handy dandy calculator. So I pull up the handy dandy calculator. And I'm going to do, you could do it, I'm going to do it separately. So that's just the way I do it. So here we go, 69. Second apps, oops, I'm sorry. Math, probability, NCR, and 5. I'm going to stow that. Where do you get bread? At the stove. I'm going to stow that right here, STO. Stow, and I'm just going to say my first number, so I'm going to say alpha F as in first. I just got to find it because these letters are so small. There we go. So I've got that one stored. And now I'm going to do 26 combination 1, which should be 26. So I'm going to hit second, enter. Second, enter. And I'm going to put 26 combination 1, and it should be 26. So I've got 1 over alpha F times 26. So 1 divided by parentheses alpha F times 26 close parentheses. I get, let's see, that's going to be like 8 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 2, 2, 3. 3, 4, 2, 2, 3. Or we can write it as a fraction, and that's going to be alpha F times 26. I can't stop yawning this morning. I don't know what's wrong with me. And that's 1 over 292 million, 201,000, 338. And that should be your probability. So let's look at the answer. I got plenty of sleep last night. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. And let's go to odds. Hold on, what are the odds? Odds of winning. 101 and 292,201,338. Oh my God, we're smart. Don't you feel good about yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, Hubert. Thank you, Miss. I appreciate your willingness to try, Miss Cameron.
You're welcome.
Everybody else is winged on a pickle. All right. Let's try another one. I'm going to let y'all do the Mega Million. All right, y'all do the Mega Million. As soon as I pull it up. All right, there you go. I'll bring it up a little bit. There you go. All right, I'm going to let y'all do that one. Give you a minute. It shouldn't take no longer than a minute or two. Oh, excuse me. Somebody must be yawning out there. You know, yawning is contagious. Okay. It shouldn't be that hard, especially when you do it right behind another lottery question. Shouldn't be that hard at all. So 1 over be 70 combination 5 times 25 combination 1. And that's going to be 1 over, and we'll take our handy dandy calculator. And I'm just going to hit second, enter, second, enter, second, enter. And I'm going to type in 70 and 5. Stow, alpha, F. And I'm not going to do 25 combination 1 because that'll be 25. It's always, think about it. If you have 25 letters, 25 numbers, and you only got one ball for that number to go on, there's only one possibility, and that's each one. One ball, one number. One ball, one number. So it's just one possibility. So that's 25. 20. If you add all the balls up, there's one possibility. There's 25 different ways that can come out versus 2 balls or 3. So that's going to be 25. So I'm going to do times 25. And I get, 302,575,350. Now, of course, if you wanted to make that a fraction, 1 divided by second answer equals, that's going to be 8 zeros, or 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 330496. 330496.
Can we keep it as a fraction?
Depends on what they want. And it doesn't matter to me, but the homework or the test could ask for either one. So let's look at the answer. Odds of winning: 302,575,350. All right, that's 2 type questions you'll get on the test. The third type question you'll get on the test is one about committees. Committees. Okay. Committees. COMMITTEES. Committees don't have officers. Okay, they're not supposed to have officers, but if you like me, I grew up in a Southern Baptist church. You have a committee to have a committee to have a committee to eat lunch. Okay, and each of those committees had officers because you have so many committees, you have to have officers. Okay, so that's an exception to the rule. Some people do make committees with officers, and that's fine, but it's usually not done. Usually it's done with boards. But no officers equal no order. So that means that anything dealing with committees C combination. So anything having to do with committees, unless it's otherwise noted, will be a combination. There's 35 people in the neighborhood. How many different combinations of a 4-person committee? I don't forget what I said, 35? How many people did I say, 35? I can't remember. 35 people in the neighborhood. In your neighborhood. In your neighborhood. 35 people in the neighborhood, and they want to form a 4-person committee. I never did get into Mr. Rogers. Did y'all? 4-person neighborhood, 4-person committee. I was more of a Sesame Street fan. Yeah, Hubert, I could see that. I like Sesame Street too. Oh, that's good. Appreciate the interaction. So that would be 35 combination 4. So 35 combination 4. Second enter. And the reason I just do second enter, because I don't want to have to go through all those buttons. So it's going to be 35 combination 4. So there are 52,360 different committees that can be made with those 35 people. $52,360 4-person committee arrangements. Okay, I just showed you 3 questions on the test that you might see with a combination. Now let's look at a permutation. Permutation has to deal with order. And one of the number 1 questions that you get with a permutation, whereas the combination gives you a lottery, the number 1 question you're going to get with a permutation is pretty much like a horse race. And asking what is the probability of coming in first, second, and third, which is called the trifecta. Okay. So what is the probability of horses coming in first, second, and third? Well, that's going to be a permutation because it's order. First, second, and third designates order. So therefore, you're going to use a permutation. Question, gripe, complaint. So this one's going to be, let's see. Okay, I didn't give you how many horses there were. With 20 horses. Well, that's going to be 20 permutation 3. So you would take your 20 and math probability permutation 3 for first, second, and third. 6,840. So if you place bets on first, second, and third, and you place 6,840 bets, you're guaranteed to what?
Win.
Win. And a lot of people say, well, how much money is that going to cost you? Exactly. It may cost you, it'll cost you a dollar a ticket. That would be almost $7,000. You might be able to make more money than that because some of those trifectas are unheard of. In other words, they're horses that are not usually as fast as the other horses. So let's say that you bet, 6,840 times. And one of the underdog horses wins the first place. Then you might have a chance in paying for those 6,840 tickets or whatever you call them, betting slips or whatever. Question. Right, complaint. Okay. Y'all settle down, please. So here's another one, another permutation. Board. You have 20 people in a church, and they want to form a board of steering. In other words, which way do they want the church to go? They're going to form a board, and that board's going to have a chairman, a vice chairman, a secretary, and a treasurer. So that's going to be 20 permutation 4. And 20 permutation 4. And it'll be 116, 280. Okay. Now I've shown you how to do I showed you how to do the license plate. Showed you how to do the letters in a word and how many different arrangements of those letters. And of course, I showed you, I'm trying to think of all the questions I showed you. The combination and the permutation. Question. Anybody got a question? Well, technically, I've just covered chapter 5. Now, I didn't cover 5.4 and 5.6 because I don't think it's that big of a deal. Okay, so I took that homework out, and you are responsible. Let's write it down. You are responsible for this test, 4.1, 4.2, and that's where we learned about correlation, causality, slope, and line of best fit, meaning the regression line. And I told you that those 4 were pretty much going to be on the test. Then 5.1 is general probability. 5.2 is what we call the additive law. 5.3 is the multiplicative law. And 5.5 is counting, meaning using exponents and factorials. Now we can go ahead and look at the test and just go ahead and start it, and then we'll use Tuesday to finish it. So let's look at the test and show you what it looks like. You go to your, I'm just going to go and show you what it looks like. Go to quizzes and tests, and you should see it pop up. There it is. And of course, I give you the due date, so y'all don't have to ask that 15 times. And the time, and the number of minutes you get, and the number of attempts. Now, I remember looking, I believe it's a 40-minute test. Because when I make the test up, the time that it takes on each question totals up, and I think it's around 40 minutes, 40 or 45 minutes. So you've got plenty of time to do a 40, 45-minute test. And those numbers, 40, 45 minutes, is based on how long it takes students to do those homework problems. Because that's all I do is take the homework problems and put it over in a test. So they keep average. So when you do a homework problem, it keeps how long it takes you from doing the beginning of it when you click on it to when you submit an answer for it and get it right. They collect that information, and then they do an average, and then, you know, whatever, for question number 10 in 2.3, that question has an average time based on students across the nation. So I've got it around 40 to 45 minutes, and you got 90 minutes to take it. You got 3 attempts. So let's go to that test and let's look at it. Oh, the homework also. Homework shuts off. Here it is. Homework shuts off on the 6th. And here we go. Will the following variable have positive correlation, negative correlation, or no correlation? Outside temperature and the number of people wearing coats. Outside temperature and number of people wearing coats. Nobody's going to say anything? Well, what happens when the temperature goes up? Okay, well, I'll just sit here and wait till y'all interact. I'm not going to talk to myself. The number of coats is going to go down, right? So as the temperature on the x-axis, and this is what you need to think about. Here is a graph. X is going to be your temperature because you don't have coats if you don't have temperature. So as the temperature, let's say 0, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and so on. As the temperature increases, what's going to happen to the number of coats worn?
Decrease.
It's going to decrease. So this is a decreasing slope, which means that it is a negative correlation. I thought I hit preview. Did I not hit preview? Oh, well. Although covered in his handout, best way to contact Hubert is cell phone. 20, the only one that equals 100. It's not supposed to bunch these up like that. A bag of 100 tulip bulbs purchased from a nursery contains 35 red. This is the marble bag, except instead of marbles, it's tulips. Okay, so let's take our handy dandy so we've got a bag. And we got 35 red. I'm not going to put tulips because I'm going to associate it with the marble bag. 30 yellow. And 35 purple. Purple. I have a purple. I don't know if it's the purple that I think this is the darkest purple I have. That one's about dead, so it goes in the trash can pile. Okay. Now, what are they asking? What is the probability of red? Probability of red, just a single red, is going to be 35 over 100. I'm assuming that's 100 because I just did it in my head. Yeah, Hubert, there's 100 in there. Thank you, class. And the question says that too. I'm just trying to get y'all to interact, which y'all won't do. What is the probability that a tulip bulb is purple? Probability of purple is equal to 35 over 100. And then it says, interpret these two possibilities. Well, they're basically the same. You're going to have the probability, you're going to have a 35% probability of picking a red or a purple. And the yellow will be a lesser probability. So that's what you got to come out with. $35 and $35. So type as a decimal. So that's going to be 0.35 and 0.35. And then if 100 bulbs were sampled with replacement, one would expect, what's wrong with that word? What's wrong with the word exactly? What?
It's too like restricting.
It is. It's too restricted. It's just like perfect, impossible, and it's just one of those words that don't go with probability. So it's automatically bravo because of that word exactly. And that's going to be 35 and 35. Next. A golf ball is selected at random from a golf ball bag. The golf ball considered blah, 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 blah. Find the probability of the golf ball is green or orange. Or means what? additive law. So there's no overlaps. So it's going to be, excuse me, it's going to be 4 over, let's see, what is that, 15? 4 over 15 plus what? 5, or green, where's green? 4 over 15 and 6 over 15. So 4 over 16 and 6 over 15 is 10 over 15, which is 2 over what? 2 over 5, right? 10 over 15, 2 over 3, right? 0.67. Four plus 6 is 10. 10 over 15 is 2/3, which is should be 0.67. Y'all settle down, please. Okay, data below, blah, 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 blah. Calculate the linear correlation coefficient. So I'm just going to take my Excel spreadsheet. Highlight. Enter, insert. Right click. And what is the square root of 0.7166? So R is equal to 0.7166 raised to the 0.5 power. And I didn't put an equal in front of it. 0.8465. So I'm going to go back to my question. 0.8465. D as in delta. Next, find the equation of the regression line for the given data. Round values to the nearest thousandth. So I'm going to do this one right quick. And there it is. Right click. I'm trying to move it, just hold on. And R is equal to 0.9898 raised to the 1/2 power. 0.9949. 0.9949. Oh, they want the linear regression. Negative 1848 plus, okay, that'd be negative 1885 and 756. Trying to think. Okay, 756. I think they wanted. So go back. I think it's D, isn't it? negative 1.885. Negative 1.885. Yeah. So it's, which one? I think it's delta. Oh, there's the check answer. It wasn't on there a while ago, or I must not have had it pulled up. True or false? If in a probability model, the sum of the probabilities of all the outcomes must equal 1. True or false?
True, right?
Good. This is a gimme question. This is one that if you miss it, you don't tell anybody. Okay? True. If you take several forms of a test in Hubert's class, how is it counted? He takes the highest grade and drops the lowest. Overall grade. 0 has been placed for missed assignment. All right, this one says determine whether the scatter diagram indicates a linear relation may exist between the two variables. If the relation is linear, determine whether it indicates a positive or negative association between the variables. Use this information to answer. So, looks like we got a positive correlation. So, do not, the points have a linear relationship because there is a line mainly in a straight line. I'm looking at the data points have a linear relationship because they do not, so it would be B for Bravo, I believe. Do the two variables have a positive or negative association? That would be positive. Next. United States Marine Corps. Okay, this one, let's go ahead and put it up there. Highlight. Insert. Right click. There you go. And R is equal to 0.5099 or 0.5009 raised to the 1/2 power. Yes, there is a correlation. It's 0.7077. 0.7077. It seems to be a pretty good correlation. .708. Oh, let's check the critical values. I'm sorry. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want to make sure 8. 8 is 0.666, or I'm sorry, 0.707. It seems like we have a little bit more than 0.707, so I would say we're okay. Next question. Find the equation of the regression line for the given data. Okay, I'm going to move on. I think we've covered that enough. It's not supposed to, well, see, I'm not in the test. I'm in the teacher preview, so it could bunch them up together. It shouldn't bunch them up like that. Suppose that event of E and F are independent and P of E is equal to 0.6 and P of F is equal to 0.8. What is P and? What does and mean?
You're using the multiplicity rule.
The multiplication rule. So then I multiply 0.6 and 0.8 and I get what? Point what?
0.48.
It should be 0.48. Yes. Next. Make a scatter diagram. Well, that should be easy enough for you. Just highlight the material and match it up. This is another one that you should not tell if you get it wrong. You shouldn't tell anybody. Insert. Right click. There you go. And I don't forget what they wanted. Oh, they just want the scatter plot. So 2, 2, and 2. 2 flat and 2. 2 flat and 2. It could be C or D. I'm gonna go with C, but it could be D. You'd have to actually blow it up and match it up to your. Yep, it's C. Suppose 65 cars start in a race. In how many ways can the top 3 cars? 65 permutation. So 65 permutation 3. Second, enter. 65 permutation 3. 262,080. I don't forgot it. Let me just move it over here. There. 262,080. If you miss a question, scream and throw a temper tantrum. This is the question I gave y'all, and I told y'all it would be on the test. So read the question. I want you to do this on your own. Which one is a probability? Well, with the first one, 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 is equal to what? 4/4, which is equal to 1. So A is good. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1 is 1. So B is good. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 or plus 1 is equal to 1. So it's good. C, 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 2/6 plus 2/6. 2, 4, 6, that's equal to 6/6. C is good. I'm going to write D, and I'm going to bring it back up. D is not. I don't even have to write D down. Why? Somebody tell me why D is not a probability model.
It has a negative.
It has a negative. Good job. How about E? Is E a probability model?
No,
Why?
it doesn't equal 1.
Doesn't equal 1. And C, our last one, 1/9 plus, I'm thinking 3/3 or 3/9. 1/9 plus 3/9 plus 3/9. I'm gonna have to do this one. 1/9 plus 3/9 plus 3/9 plus 2/9. 2, 3. 3 plus is 9/9. I got 9/9. So F is good. So there's your 4 options right there. Okay, D is not good because it has a negative in it. And E is not good because it doesn't equal 1. So your answer is A, B, C, and F. Now read the question carefully. Is consistent, not aren't, or isn't. So A, B, C, and F. A, B, C, and F. In probability, a or and blank is a process that can be repeated in which the results are uncertain. That would be an experiment, would it not? Appreciate the input. And it's a golf ball. We done one like that one, so I'm going to skip that one. If the linear correlation between two variables is negative, what can be said about the slope?
Slope is negative.
Thank you again, Miss Cameron. I appreciate it. I'm sorry you have to carry the weight of the class.
It's fine.
If the linear correlation between, okay, next one. And that's going to be the only one that makes any sense. Okay, we did 2 or 3 of these in the homework. I'm not going to go through it right now because I'm going to try to get through the test as much as I can. But we did one like this in class. To play the lottery in a certain state, a person has to correctly select 5 out of 45 numbers, playing $1. There's the key word right there. 5-number selection of 5 cards picked, drawn lottery, an enormous sum of money. So what is the probability that purchased? Okay, so they only got 5 numbers, not 6. 5 and 1. Okay, so this one is going to be 45, 5. So this one's going to be 1 over the combination of 45, 5. So that's going to be 45, combination 5. So 1 over 1,221,759. And of course, 100 tickets would be 100 over that. So let's see what the answers are. So where do you see 1221, 759? 1221, 759. I believe it's Bravo. Next. Maybe I need to go back and make some of these more difficult. What do y'all think?
I think they're just fine.
Okay, Miss Cameron, thank you. You know, I'm beginning to think the class hates me. Is that what it is? Do y'all hate me? Is that what it is?
No.
Okay, well, they just...
It's just too early.
Too early? I'm not going to say anything about the real world and life, but y'all have to go to work at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning. All right. Communication is key. Next. From 10 names on a ballot, a committee of 3 will be elected to attend a political national convention. How many different committees are possible? So that would be 10, combination 3. Second. Ten, combination 3. 120. 29. Hubert does not entertain because he is mean. And he wants me to fail and live in a ditch. I like Delta better than Bravo. If you have incomplete assignments and Hubert puts a 0 in for the grade, what will that 0 do to your grade? I have no idea. I didn't know zeros decrease the grade. Okay, this one, calculate the linear correlation coefficient. Calculate R. We've already done 2 like that. Same thing here, R. When does homework terminate? Tuesday or water? Zero. A certain lottery ball has 1 to 31. From this urn, 4 balls are chosen without replacement. For a $1 bet, a player chooses a set of 4 numbers. To win, all 4 numbers must match those in the urn. The order does not matter. So that's going to be 1 over 31 combination 4. 1 over 31 combination 4. Says use scientific notation. So that means they want you to divide 1 by that number. Second answer. 3.1, let's say round to the what? Nearest hundredth. 3.18 times 10 to the 5th, negative 5th. 3.18, shift 8, 10, shift up, -5. And the last one. What is the probability of an event that has been impossible? Suppose a probability is approximated to be 0. Does that mean it's impossible? Birth control. Does that mean it's impossible? 0. Does that mean it's impossible? Yes or no?
No.
No. Impossible is one of those words that we don't use in probability because there's always something that's going to make you out to be wrong. And that's it. So that test is not very difficult, is it? No, Hubert, it's not. Submit my test and only skipped a couple. And I made an 84. Those are probably the ones I skipped. Okay, who's got questions? Nobody's got questions. Hold on, I'm going to pull up the attendance here in a second. Okay, let me turn off that and turn off the recording.